Hey guys, welcome back to Ball Guy Sci, and one more time this week I'm going to be talking about Canva and why you need it to just save you some time in the classroom. Today we're going to be looking at whiteboard templates and how you can customize those and use them to be just awesome. Let's go! All right, well, you're going to be going to canva.com and you're going to log into your free educator account. Now, if you don't have one yet, there's another video I will link right up there or up there so that you can go ahead and get into that. But it is free for educators and awesome. Here you go. Once you're logged in, you're going to go to the top search bar and you're going to type in Interactive Whiteboard or just Whiteboard. Okay, so let's say that I'm looking for a cause and effect graphic organizer to use with a Jamboard. Now, you don't have to be using Jamboard. You can use any of the interactive whiteboard programs that you have. And so all you're going to want to do, first of all, is just click on it. Now, once you get it out there, what I would suggest, besides going through and you can see all of the different results and all of the different things you can build, you can add a page, right? But every one of these is ready to use right away. So you can do any customizing that you want, change the shape, change the color, change the text right here. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to download it. And in this case, you can download it as a PNG or you can download it as a JPEG. So I'm going to download this one just as a JPEG. I'm going to leave everything else alone. I'm going to hit download and that's going to drop down into my download folder. Okay, I have Jamboard open. So up here where it says set background, I'm going to click that. I'm going to find that in my downloads folder, click open, and here we go. Now that cause and effect graphic organizer is set to the background and I'm ready to use all of the other things that I want to use. I can pull out sticky notes, text boxes, have the kids draw on it, use shapes, whatever it is that I need to do. And so that's just one way, really simple. And if you've used Jamboard before, you know how to take it from here. But there are a couple of the really cool but similar kind of things you can do in drawings. So now I'm in a Google Drawing and I'm going to do the same thing, or I'm going to put it in the background. But first, every one of these Canva documents is actually set up in 16:9. So I'm going to click here, go to File, Page Setup, and I'm going to change this to 16:9. Now you can do a custom size if you want, but this is going to size it up. So if you wanted to have students work on this and then pull every single one of these into a Google Slides presentation or a PowerPoint when you were all done, and then display them before the class, you could look at every kid's work depending on what you're doing. So I hit apply, and now I'm just going to go up here to insert image. I'm going to upload it from the computer. I'm going to select it right there, and I'm going to hit open, and the exact same thing. All I have to do is stretch it out, and I'm good to go in Google Drawings. But we're not done yet. I feel like this cheesy guy. So I'm going to go over to a Google presentation, and in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all of the stuff that I have here and just get a blank slide. Again, if yours comes up in 4:3 because maybe you have an old presentation on a different projector or something like that, just go down here to page setup and then you can change this over to 16:9 widescreen. I'm going to hit cancel, and again I'm going to go to background this time. Especially if you don't want students to be able to edit it but to put things on top of it, you just choose the image, again upload. Everything else is the same. I'm pretty sure you know how to do all this. Hit open, and then it's going to put it in the background. Now, if you wanted to do this multiple times, then what you would do is add it to the theme, and then all you'd have to do is insert a new slide, a new slide, a new slide. So this could be really great if you know that you're going to be using these cause and effect ones, but you want to customize them in advance, and then you want to export them out as flattened images and hand them out to different students or use them during different times of the year. So if you click add to theme, here we go, I hit done. Now I go up to this plus button and just go to blank, and I immediately have another copy of it ready to rock and roll. So this just could be a sweet little tip to help you save some time to build some cause and effect things that you can use in your classroom. But we're not done yet. So here we go with our last little cheese ball. I'm going to go back to Canva, and instead of typing in my whiteboard, I'm going to type in worksheet. Now for this example, I really don't care what the worksheet is. So I'm just going to pick up one like, okay, number line opposites, right? I'm going to click that one. And so I've got this number line opposites thing that's going to come up. Maybe this is exactly what I want to use with my students. But the cool part is, even if it's not, just scrolling down, I have for you, and you can scroll sideways. You have a bunch of different ones in there. Maybe it's an all about me. Oh, cool. So I want to maybe use this feature of GimKit that we've done before called Kitroduce Yourself that you might use in the beginning of the school year. I'll link that video right up there if you don't know what that is, but maybe this is a great way to have kids get all the information ready. So all about me. I've got that page ready to go. I just go through the same process. But you're saying, hey, Brian, but there's a problem here. This is not set up the way that we're sort of expecting it to be set up. And that's okay. I'm going to show you a little quick tip here in Google Presentation, Google Slide, to rearrange and get it to look like this. So first of all, you just go over to File, just like we did in Google Images, and go to Page Setup. And this time you're going to have to click Custom, and you're going to go at 8.5 by 11. That's your standard piece of paper. I delete my text boxes, and now I'm going to insert image. Upload, whoops, oh, you know what? Let's just do a background. Choose image, and here we go. I'm gonna hit browse, it's the exact same process, but now when I hit open, it puts it in the background, and I hit done, and I'm all good to go. So every feature that I would use may be Peardeck. So I wanna open up a Peardeck, and I wanna make this an interactive slide so that students actually have to type all the information on a Peardeck slide, but it looks like a normal worksheet. A really, really cool way that you can use some of these tools for interactivity, just sort of an app smashed way where you could use Canva, Google Slides, Google Images, Jamboard, all sorts of things, even Peardeck, right, to make this look good. And so to be honest, if I'm going to do this all about me thing and I have the students generate this list right here, then I could actually have them introduce a classmate on Flipgrid and tie the whole thing together and have it be just a really cool multimedia presentation type activity that has the class culture started. The kids get to use some tools and they get to interact with some fun online platforms. So hey, I hope you got some value out of this. I hope you learned something new. If you did, click that like button, but more important than that, share with a colleague or a friend, even an enemy. That is fine with me. And hit that subscribe button, and we will catch you next time for more EdTech Awesome. I'll see you.